This is the Conscious Hour, and this is part three, the continuing drama of really what's going on in the world. Pay attention because I want to have everybody watch this, and then I'd like to get your feedback. And the one that gives the best feedback about what they think happened and what they think is a solution. And the big question is this: does the US government have the right to go in and invade foreign countries to steal their resources or to, quote, manage their resources? Listen closely. This will shed a lot of light on how cruel, literally, the US is to other countries. And then you have to ask yourself the question: how does this tie into BRICS, which is the whole new currency system that's devoid of the dollar?
Mar-a-Lago like it was a reality TV show, which in his mind it was. But here's where the spectacle ends and the consequences begin. Trump and Marco Rubio were asked repeatedly at the press conference, who's going to run Venezuela now? How long will American forces be there? What's the plan for governance? And they had no answer. Trump did say that American oil companies will go in and help Venezuela rebuild its energy sector. He was very explicit about this. He said it's pathetic how much they've been producing given their reserves, and American companies will fix that. He said the oil would go to other countries and to the United States as reimbursement for damages. Rubio walked it back the next day, said the US doesn't need Venezuelan oil, said this is about governance, not resources. But the contradiction tells you everything. Trump says what the operation is about. Rubio manages the diplomatic fallout. Venezuela is not Panama. This is not 1989 when George H.W. Bush sent forces in to remove General Noriega. Panama had 3 million people. Venezuela has 30 million. Panama had a massive American military base in the strategically vital Panama Canal. Venezuela has neither. More importantly, Maduro was not a personalist dictator. This wasn't like removing Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi, where the entire state structure revolved around one individual. Maduro rose within a system, the Chavista system, a network of generals, intelligence chiefs, judiciary officials, and paramilitary groups called colectivos that control everything from ports to food distribution. The defense minister is still in place. The interior minister, Diosdado Cabello, one of the most powerful figures in the regime, is still there. The vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, is still there. All of these people control pieces of the economy. Venezuela has multiples more generals compared to the average soldier than anywhere else on earth. About 20 times as many as you would expect in a normal military structure. Every general has a monopoly somewhere. They control mining concessions. They control ports. They control oil distribution. The military doesn't just defend Venezuela. The military is the economy. This is where the operation, tactically brilliant as it was, becomes strategically catastrophic because the rest of the world is watching. Every country in the global south, from Nigeria to Brazil to Indonesia, is looking at Venezuela and thinking the same thing. If we refuse to sell our resources in dollars, will they come for us next? This fear does not create loyalty, it creates an exodus. At the BRICS summit in Kazan, Russia, in October 2024, Vladimir Putin announced the development of BRICS Pay, a blockchain-based cross-border payment system that completely bypasses the US dollar. Brazil is already piloting it for agricultural trade. South Africa processed its first diamond transaction in November. Iran and Russia are settling arms sales through it. Venezuela has just applied for formal BRICS membership. If accepted, and it will be, its 303.8 billion barrels of oil reserves will be integrated into an economic architecture completely isolated from Washington. The transition has already happened. The world simply hasn't realized it yet. China's official gold reserves increased by 225 tons in 2023 alone. Actual purchases are probably double that, made through Hong Kong imports that aren't fully reported. Russia was completely excluded from SWIFT in 2022. Their response? Build the financial message transfer system, now processing 30% of Russian domestic payments and expanding to 159 financial institutions in 20 countries. China launched CIPS in 2015. As of early 2025, it connects 1,423 financial institutions in 109 countries. It processes $436 billion in daily transactions, completely outside dollar-based clearing systems. The BRICS expansion in 2023 added Saudi Arabia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Ethiopia. That's 45% of the world's population, 36% of global GDP in purchasing power parity terms, and control of 72% of the planet's proven oil reserves. By attacking Venezuela to secure its oil fields, the United States has proved exactly why the world needs an alternative system. They've validated every speech Putin and Xi Jinping have ever made about American unilateralism and aggression. Before this operation, countries used the dollar because it was convenient, stable, and the infrastructure was already there. After this operation, countries will dump the dollar because holding US assets now means you're vulnerable. It means your sovereignty is conditional. The petrodollar is no longer a trade agreement. It's a hostage situation. Trump thinks he's demonstrating strength. He thinks he's showing the world that America is back, that it can project power anywhere, that it doesn't need to ask permission. But what he's actually demonstrating is desperation. A truly powerful country doesn't need to invade to secure resources. It offers the best trade deals, the best technology, the most stable currency. People want to trade with you because it benefits them. When you have to use military force to secure access to oil, when you have to threaten your neighbors, when you have to tear up the rule book and operate through pure coercion, that's not strength. That's the behavior of a declining power that can no longer compete on merit. And the world sees that. China sees it. Russia sees it. India sees it. Brazil sees it. Even allies like France and Germany see it, even if they won't say it publicly yet. The Venezuela operation has accomplished the opposite of its intended goal. It was supposed to secure American access to oil and reinforce dollar dominance. Instead, it has accelerated the global move away from dollar dependence and proven that American power, while still formidable militarily, is strategically brittle. You can win every tactical battle and still lose the war. There are three possible paths forward, none of them clean. Path 1. Controlled transition. The US brokers a deal with remnants of the existing government and the opposition. A transitional authority is established. Oil contracts are renegotiated. Revenue flows are restructured. This is the best case scenario. It requires cooperation from multiple factions and years of institution building. Path 2. Fragmentation. The government fractures. Regional power centers emerge. Some areas controlled by military units loyal to the old regime, others by opposition groups, others by criminal networks that fill the vacuum. Oil production stays disrupted. Investment doesn't happen. The humanitarian crisis worsens. This is the Iraq-Libya scenario. Path 3. Economic counterpressure. China doesn't accept the outcome. Beijing continues buying oil through shadow tankers, provides financial support to resistance elements, uses its leverage in other Latin American countries to isolate US-backed structures, turns Venezuela into a long-term economic battleground. This is the great power competition scenario. None of these paths resolve quickly, and the Trump administration hasn't articulated which one they're pursuing or how they plan to navigate the complexity. Markets are pricing in the optimistic scenario that Venezuelan oil comes back online, priced in dollars, flowing to American refineries and allied nations. But history suggests caution. Iraq was supposed to be quick. Libya was supposed to stabilize. Afghanistan was supposed to transition smoothly. Removing governments is easy. Building functioning states is extraordinarily difficult. And the question nobody in Washington seems to be asking is, what happens if this doesn't work? What happens if Venezuela fragments? If oil production stays disrupted? If China doubles down on alternative supply chains? If other Latin American nations decide the risk of working with the United States is too high? Those are the questions that will determine whether this operation was a strategic success or an expensive mistake. And right now, we're too early in the process to know. What we can say is this. The economic contest for South America is no longer background noise. It's front and center. And the stakes are oil, dollars, and global positioning. The helicopters have left Caracas. Maduro is on a warship heading to New York. The news cycle will move to the next crisis within.
And there you have it, folks. So I want to hear from you. What do you think about the United States and what should we be doing? If we want to be a trading partner in the world, are we on the right path? So leave your comments, and whoever gives us the best idea of how to get out of this quagmire, that is, if you think the U.S. should still be involved, or maybe it shouldn't. This is the Conscious Hour. Reach out, let me know your thoughts. Please share and post, and we'll see you again on the return, folks.